Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kibler Field at Roy Kirby Jr. Stadium for senior night, tonight's Centennial Conference women's soccer match between the Franklin and Marshall College Diplomats and your Washington College Shore Women. Before introducing the starters for tonight's contest, we'd like to take a few minutes to recognize the Shore Women's 7 seniors. Number 12, Tatyana Boggman. Tatyana has played in 27 career games for the Shore Women. She was named her team's most improved player as a sophomore and was named to the Centennial Conference All-Sportsmanship team as a freshman, and is qualified for the Centennial Conference Academic Honor Roll for the 3rd year in a row. A business management and art history major and marketing minor, she is the daughter of Derica and Curtis Boggman. She is being accompanied tonight by parents Derica and Curtis and siblings Andrew, Quinn, Aurora, and Genevieve. Number 8, co-captain Maya Duvall. Maya has made 56 starts and 58 career contests for the Shore Women and has tallied 7 assists. She shares the single-game school record for assists and was named to the 2018 Centennial Conference All-Sportsmanship team. A former Goose Nation TV Shore Women Player of the Game, she has qualified for the Centennial Conference Academic Honor Roll for the 2nd time. A Hispanic Studies and Sociology major, she is the daughter of Paul and Jennifer Duvall. She is being accompanied tonight by her parents, Jennifer and Paul Duvall.
Let's go, Maya! Woo!
Number 21, Meghan Klink. Meghan has played in 16 career matches for the Shore Women and has scored 2 career goals. She is a former Goose Nation TV Shore Women Player of the Game. An art history major, she is the daughter of Pam and Rob Klink. Tonight she is being escorted by parents Pam and Rob Klink and Shore Women alumni Lauren Neary.
Woo! Let's go! Woo! Let's go! Woo! We love you, Meg.
Number 23, co-captain Kayla Marcinko. Kayla has made 37 starts and 47 career contests for the Shore Women, has 4 goals and 5 assists to her credit. She is a former Goose Nation TV Shore Women Player of the Game, a human development major. She is the daughter of Lisa and Richard Marcinko. She is being escorted tonight by parents Lisa and Richard and brother Sean. Number 14, Parker Morris. Parker has made 5 starts and 39 career games for the Shore Women and has scored 2 goals. A sociology major in justice, law, and society minor, she is the daughter of Susie and Jim Morris. She is being accompanied tonight by parents Susie and Jim, sister Logan, and Grandma Wowie. Number 13, Maddie Noonan. Maddie has made 29 starts and 38 career contests for the Shore Women. A psychology major and biology minor. She is the daughter of Joseph Noonan and Giovanna Uranga. She is being escorted tonight by her mother, Giovanna Uranga. And number 3, Brianna Ruprak. Brianna has made 3 starts and 33 career matches for the Shore Women. A biology major and secondary education studies minor, she is the daughter of Ann Townsend and Michael Ruprak. She is being accompanied tonight by Mother Ann, Stepdad Reed, Sister Reagan, Dad Mike, and Grandma Carol. Congratulations to the 7 seniors, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you for your contributions to the program. Introducing tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Diplomats. Number 6, a freshman from Mechanicsburg, PA, Lainey Anderson. Number 15, a freshman from Southbury, Connecticut, Emily Adami. Number 17, a freshman from Monmouth Junction, New Jersey, Katie Cassetta. Number 20, a freshman from Wyckoff, New Jersey, Riley Horahan. Number 21, a junior from Allentown, PA, Christina Marinos. Number 24, a freshman from Neshannock Station, New Jersey, Emily Cleary. Number 28, a senior from Howell, New Jersey, Nicolette Runko. Number 31, a freshman from Reisterstown, Maryland, Anna Coleman. Number 33, a freshman from Doylestown, PA, Izzy Hunter. Number 34, a freshman from Clark, New Jersey, Meg O'Callahan. And in goal, number 99, a freshman from Upper Saddle River, New Jersey, Sarah Gorashi. F&M is coached by John Sumansky. He's assisted by Chris Ackerman, Dean Miller, Anthony Burkhart, John Martin, and Michelle Fisher. And now the starting line for your Washington College Shore Women. Number 3, a senior from Lithicum, Maryland, Brianna Ruprak. Number 7, a junior from Rockville Center, New York, Brenda Clark. Number 8, a senior from La Cruces, New Mexico, Maya Duvall. Number 11, a freshman from Lovettsville, Virginia, Rachel Hale. Number 12, a senior from Wharton, Maryland, Tatyana Boggman. Number 13, a senior from Burlington, Vermont, Maddie Noonan. Number 14, a senior from Severna Park, Maryland, Parker Morris. Number 18, a sophomore from Florence, New Jersey, Brianna Parisi. Number 21, a senior from Annapolis, Maryland, Meghan Klink. Number 23, a senior from Perry Hall, Maryland, Hella Marcy. Goal. And in goal, number 1, a junior from Center Reach, New York, Natalie Bascarino. Shore women are coached by Tom Riley. He's assisted by Molly Kovarik, Karen Aaronsbeck, and Dawn Riley. At this time, we ask you please rise and join us in honoring America at the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Washington College values good sportsmanship and expects you to do the same. Please treat student athletes, coaches, officials, game personnel, and each other respect for refrain from the use of profanity, offensive language, and intimidating actions. For the safety and comfort of yourself and others, public intoxication, alcohol beverages, tobacco products, illicit drug weapons, and artificial noisemakers are strictly prohibited. Anyone violating the preceding guidelines would be asked to leave the premises. Thank you for being our partners in sportsmanship.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome you live to Chestertown, Maryland. Kibler Field at Roy Kirby Jr. Stadium, the site of tonight's Centennial Conference women's soccer matchup between visiting Franklin Marshall and your Washington College Shore Women on the Shore Women's Senior Night this evening. As right away we get a whistle and a stoppage of play for a foul. I think it might have actually been offside called by the referee here on the near side. So free kick upcoming here early for the Diplomats. Our final of 4 games today on Goose Station TV and the Centennial Conference Digital Network. Washington College teams are winless on the day so far. Hopefully that can be something that changes here with tonight's women's soccer matchup between the Shore Women and the Diplomats. Washington in the home whites tonight with the maroon numbers and trim and letters. F&M in the visiting blues tonight with the white letters and numbering. Also, senior night for the Shore Women, celebrating 7 seniors before tonight's contest, hence the reason why we were a tad bit delayed getting things underway this evening, but we have kicked off now in the 2nd minute of the contest as this ball goes out of bounds for another Washington throw. On the near side with it here for the Shore Women is Meghan Klink, one of those 7 seniors mentioned. 4 changes to the Washington starting lineup tonight, all of them related to seniors. As Brianna Ruprak's in the lineup tonight, along with Tatyana Boggman, Parker Morris, and Meghan Klink. Those 4 don't normally start, but because it's senior night, those 4 are in the lineup, along with the team's other 3 seniors that are regular starters in this lineup, Maya Duvall and Maddie Newton, along with Kayla Marcinko, of course, one of the team captains. This is Morris with the ball on her foot, actually. Has it cleared away. Nice clearance there for Franklin Marshall by Riley Horahan. As we get another stoppage of play and a foul here on the Diplomats. Free kick upcoming for the Shore Women. It'll be taken by the freshman, Rachel Chatfield. Both of these teams are sound teams defensively, as Chatfield's free kick comes all the way down the field and is scooped up on one hop by the goalkeeper, Sarah Garashi, the freshman for Franklin Marshall, who comes in tonight with an 80.3% save percentage for the Diplomats. Has started all but 2 games for F&M this year. Has a 1.22 goals against average and is 5-5 with a couple of shutouts. Meanwhile, for Washington, they've been rotating goalkeepers between Noah Smith and Annalie Buscarino. Buscarino gets the start tonight, her 2nd straight start. She had a shutout on Thursday at Haverford, what became a scoreless tie. But both Smith and Buscarino on pace to break the record for goals against average in a season, which was set by Buscarino last year at 1.29. But Buscarino entering tonight carries a goals against average of 0.84, while Smith carries a goals against average of 0.89. As in fact, here is Buscarino trying to get her first touch of the night, but she came up empty, but the whistle has blown as a foul has been called. As Buscarino dove to try and get that one, she came up empty, and then F&M looked like they were going to have a chance there with an open net, but the referee blew the play dead for a foul on the Diplomats. So free kick upcoming for Washington here. As now the referee having a talking to with one of the Diplomat players. And apparently they're switching out soccer balls. The clock has stopped at the 41:08 mark. Apparently the referee not happy with the ball that was on the field, so that's been swapped out. So we'll restart the play here with 41:08 to go. In this opening half, obviously still no scores. We're early. As this free kick winds up coming all the way down the field, takes a deflection back towards the top of the 18, and nothing doing for F&M field, so just a sound clearance out to the near side here as it's played out of bounds by Izzy Hunter. So restart for Washington. That ball looked like it went off the arm of one of the Diplomat defenders, but it goes out of bounds for Washington possession anyway. This throw comes in near the goal line. Klink trying to get there for Washington. She can't do so. It's out of bounds. Last touch by the Shore Women. It'll be Franklin Marshall ball. We'll see how quickly, if at all, Coach Tom Riley goes to that bench to perhaps replace some of these seniors that don't play a lot that are in tonight's lineup, although being that it's senior night, he might just let them ride for a while and see what happens. Is this ball on the near sideline taken for the Diplomats on the right foot of Emily Adami, the freshman. And now Morris has this ball taken off of her foot as it's cleared out of the zone for F&M by Horahan, the freshman. Just one change to the lineup for Franklin Marshall from their most recent contest. Lainey Anderson gets the start tonight. Making way for the Diplomats is Hannah Robertson. As F&M picked up a 1-0 win in overtime the other night against Gettysburg. Diplomats right in the thick of that potential playoff chase. 3-4 in conference play so far this season, as this ball is going to come all the way down and go out of bounds and be a goal kick for Buscarino. So 6 minutes gone by in this opening half, no score. Now Morris has this ball go off her foot out of bounds at the midfield stripe. It'll be a throw-in for the Diplomats here. A goal on a pair of shots for Morris this season. Had a goal last year in her junior campaign as well. As this ball battled for along the far sideline goes out of play for a Franklin and Marshall throw. No shots so far. Again, we're early. We're only in the opening 6.5 minutes. As this ball goes out of bounds along the goal line, last touch by Washington. It'll be a Franklin Marshall corner. It'll be put in play by Adami, the freshman. To the left-hand side of Buscarino in the far corner. Actually, now there's two different players standing over the corner. And it will be Adami. She takes it very short, gets the pass back here. Now looks for the left-footed cross, which comes toward the goal, and a one-hop is scooped up by Buscarino, who throws this ball back into play quickly on the near side. Onto the foot of Maddie Noonan, another one of the senior contingent for Washington. And now this ball down near the corner gets knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Washington for a Franklin and Marshall throw. Seven wins this season for Franklin and Marshall so far. As this ball loose at the top of the 18 and now knocked out of bounds on a shot that bounces off the side of the netting. On a shot that came in there from Nicolette Runko, who has 6 goals on the season, is F&M's leading scorer, 3-time All-Conference selection in her own right, twice named to the All-Conference second team. But the 7 wins for F&M this year matches the 2016 team in terms of most wins for an F&M program since 2011. As one more victory for F&M will tie them with that 2011 squad in terms of winningest seasons in the last decade. And the 3-4 conference record, an improvement for Franklin and Marshall at this point in the season compared to last. They have a couple of pretty good freshmen on that squad also. Here's Klink for Washington. This ball takes a deflection, comes inside of the 18-yard box, and will be scooped up for the Diplomats by one of that freshman contingent. That's Garashi, the goalkeeper. She boots one high in the air. It'll bounce at the midfield stripe, takes a couple of deflections, and is controlled for F&M. On the right foot of Meg O'Callahan, another one of the freshmen. 5 goals, 3 assists for her on the season. 2 straight wins for Franklin and Marshall coming in tonight, both of them in conference play. We mentioned the 1-0 win in overtime against Gettysburg on Wednesday, and then last Saturday on the road at Ursinus, a 4-1 win for the Diplomats over the Bears. An F&M team that takes 13.5 shots per game on average. Washington just a shade under 11 shots per game. They've only scored 13 goals in 13 games this year, an average of 1 per game. And if you take the 6 goals, then the home opener against Rosemont off the table, it really comes down to 7 goals in the other 12 games. But we mentioned defensively for Washington, very solid. A goals against average of 0.86, one of the best defensive teams in the Centennial Conference. As this ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Morris for a Franklin and Marshall goal kick. So we expect tonight's match to be one of those lower scoring defensive struggle type of games. F&M comes in tonight with a goals against average of just a shade over 1.05. So both of these teams solid defensively. They do have people who can score, F&M does, but they only have a couple of players that are capable of producing big numbers, whereas Washington, we mentioned, they've been struggling to score a little bit so far this year. But that scoreless tie they played at Haverford on Thursday, and a game that was postponed today due to rain, was the first ever result Washington had picked up against the Fords. A feat they also accomplished earlier this season when they played to a scoreless double overtime tie here at home against 5th-ranked Johns Hopkins. So we'll see what happens when these two squads meet tonight. Right now we're just over 10.5 minutes in with no score and only one shot so far. Throw in here for the Diplomats in front of their own bench. Played back to Brenda Clark, the left center back for Washington. She'll get it up to midfield here. Now here's Marcinko. Down to the turf. Good tackle there for F&M made by Katie Cassetta. Another one of those freshmen for the Diplomats who has a solid career ahead of them. And this ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Franklin Marshall. Going to be a throw for Washington. And third-year head coach Tom Riley. First of a 3-match homestand for Washington College. Their next game will be a Sunday afternoon contest next week against Stockton. Again, that's on Sunday at 1 o'clock, not Saturday. Washington has Saturday off because Stockton's playing a conference game on Saturday, so they're playing back-to-back days. Stockton, one of the better teams in the country. 12 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw entering action today. That'll be next Sunday at 1 o'clock. Note the Sunday start time. That comes after a Saturday next weekend, which will feature the home opener for both swim teams and a 4 o'clock game for men's soccer against 4th-ranked Franklin and Marshall. As men's soccer, the only one of the teams for Washington College today not to be playing F&M, as they fell to Haverford earlier today here at home 2-1. As Maddie Noonan pops this ball up the field. Garashi gets under it for F&M and makes the grab. Actually waved both her arms in the air as if to signal fair catch. Obviously, that's not a thing in soccer, but now this one headed back up the field. Before it's knocked to the near sideline, takes a touch off an F&M player and will go out of bounds. Last touch by the Diplomats. No, last touch by Washington. They changed their minds on it. So F&M gets a throw. This ball in the center of the box is cleared out by Buscarino for Washington. Out to the far corner. Now this one takes a touch. It stays in bounds. F&M trying to keep it up in the offensive end. This one sent down toward the top of the box, knocked away and cleared by Washington. Back out to midfield here. Now a battle for the ball. Player for the Diplomats winds up on the turf. No foul call by the referee. As this one spins back to midfield, Morris knocks it further up the field for Washington. Forces F&M to just play it back up the near sideline, where it'll bounce off the turf. Noonan keeps it in play with the head. And now it trickles out of bounds for a Washington throw. We do have a couple substitutes getting ready for Washington College on the far side here, it appears. This one sent down the near sideline. Nice backheel touch there for F&M from Horahan to advance the ball further up the field of play, but it'll trickle out of bounds harmlessly along the goal line for a goal kick for Buscarino. And 2 substitutions, and as we figured it would be a couple of the seniors. Lauren Maynard is in to replace the senior Tatyana Boggman. And also Keely Verbeek, who started every game this year, is checking in to replace another senior and Brianna Ruprak back on defense. So 2 subs for the Shorewomen here.
Coming on to the pitch for the Shorewomen, number 4, Laura Maynard, and number 16, Keely Verbeek.
As Maynard, the freshman, checks in. 1 goal for her this year. And Keely Verbeek, the transfer Transferred from Emerson to Washington College. Started 6 games of the 13 she played a season ago. As we've just about played 15 minutes in this opening half. Still no score. There's a free kick for Washington here. Takes a hop off the turf, then F&M can't quite get it cleared. The second defender comes over, does knock the ball away. And now a battle for possession. And the Diplomats get it as it comes back out to midfield. Washington regains control. Now taken back by one of the F&M defenders. As the center back knocks it up to midfield here. Nice touch out to the near sideline onto the foot of Hunter for the Diplomats. Now this ball played back towards the center of the pitch, and now back defensively for Horahan. Now out of bounds, last touched by Franklin Marshall. It'll be Washington ball on a throw. 16 minutes played in this opening half with no score. And quite frankly, not really many chances created so far in this opening third of the opening half. And again out of bounds. Last touch by F&M. Creeping up in their midfield and taking this throw is Duvall. Now Marcinko plays it back. Gets it back and just knocks it up the sideline here. Morris and Klink both racing up ahead. And this pass to the near side. F&M was just trying to get it clear, but it goes off the toe of Morris and out of bounds. Now this ball played up the sideline. Chatfield gets back for Washington. She'll touch it back to the goalkeeper, Buscarino, who has the pressure in her face and just has to get rid of it quickly. But she does get it out to the far sideline, and now this one knocked up the field of play. Takes a hop over the head of Klink and will go out of bounds. Last touch by FM, and 2 more substitutions for Washington here. And again, it'll be 2 more of the seniors making way as Parker Morris will exit along with Maddie Noonan. Replaced for Washington by Paige O'Connell, the freshman. And an appearance from the sophomore forward, Aaron O'Reilly, who missed a chunk of time this year with injury. Returned the other night against Haverford. Has 4 goals and an assist on just 12 shots this year. Had 6 goals and 3 assists last year for the sophomore from Northborough, Massachusetts. She's in here, and she'll play up top in the striker's role for Coach Riley. 27 minutes to play in the opening half. No score. Good ball moving here by F&M out to the near sideline. As Adami looks up for a cross. And instead it's knocked out of bounds for another Franklin Marshall throw. F&M looking for a cross. The cross does come in here. Nobody gets a foot to it. It's still free on the far side of the field. Tracking back for Washington is the freshman Lauren Maynard. And she'll get there first to knock it out of play. Actually, last touch by FN. It'll be a Washington ball, and we'll see another substitution. Another one of the seniors will exit as Meghan Klink comes off the field, replaced by Bess Mascone. Mascone scored the game winner in overtime earlier this year on a free kick up at Bryn Mawr. 1-0 win for Washington that day. In fact, their only win so far this year in Centennial Conference play. They entered tonight with a 1-4-2 record in the conference. F&M with a chance here, perhaps out to the near sideline. Opportunity for a cross from the wing. The cross does come in, and it goes over top the goal and misses out of bounds for a goal kick for Buscarino. That win against Bryn Mawr came back on September 25th. That's the last win Washington College has picked up. And in fact, since the team started off their season 3-0, they've gone just 1-6-3 in the ensuing 10 games since then. with that one win, as we mentioned, coming over the Owls. Now, again, 2 of the 3 ties have been, if you can classify games as good ties, especially if you can classify scoreless games as good ties. Washington picked up a pair of those earlier this season. The win against Haverford the other night, and then that scoreless tie against Johns Hopkins here at home a couple of Saturday nights ago. And a game which Washington, I believe, was outshot 23-1 or 24-1 and still managed to get a draw. As Buscarino made 9 saves that night. If there are such things as good draws, those are definitely a pair of good draws. If tonight's game were to end in a draw, I'm not sure if either one of these teams would be satisfied by that result. But when you're playing the nation's 5th-ranked team, you can play them to a draw. You'll take that, I think, more often than not. Player down to the turf here. Foul is called. That's on Washington. Free kick for the Diplomats, which they put back into play quickly, but the referee says too quickly as he'll blow it dead, and F&M will reset the free kick here. Still just 1 shot in tonight's game, an off-target shot. There's been 1 shot, there's been 1 corner, there's been 3 fouls, there's been 2 offside calls, and it's really been about all to speak of so far in this opening 21 minutes of play, as this ball is going to come all the way down and get knocked out of bounds for another Washington goal kick. A season ago up in Lancaster, Washington took only 3 shots for the game against the Diplomats, but they scored on 2 of those 3 shots en route to a 2-0 win in Lancaster. As Washington's won the last 2 meetings in this series, but it's been F&M that's owned this series historically. 15 wins for the Diplomats, just 3 for Washington, and 3 draws as well. A couple of those ties have also come in the last 5 seasons. So Washington's had the better luck recently. Of course, when you have offensive players such as the Sabatino twins and Lindsey Russell and others, you will have those kinds of results. But with all those players now gone, a new crop of players trying to find their way offensively, it's been a little bit of a struggle for Washington in the offensive game this year. We mentioned in 13 games, just 13 total goals, 6 of which came against Rosemont in 1 game. So in the other 12 games, just 7 goals. As this ball is out of bounds, it'll be a Franco Marshall corner. Again, 2 different players go over near the corner. This corner comes in to the top of the 18, cleared out by Washington defensively. And, oh, look out, there's a collision. Should be a foul call on F&M, it is. That would be a great check if we were playing ice hockey. However, this is not ice hockey. So a free kick for Washington will be taken by Chatfield. Strong free kick from our own defensive end. Taken first by F&M. Washington wanting another foul call there. Marcinko for some contact. Referee doesn't give the contact or the foul call that time, as the Diplomats will reverse course and will come back the other way here. And before, again, it's knocked down by Washington and cleared. This ball sent towards the corner. We'll see if it'll stay in bounds. It will. And now it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Diplomats for another goal kick for Buscarino. Foul called on Franco Marshall here. Free kick for Washington as we tick under 21 minutes left. And a rather uneventful opening half so far. No score, just 1 shot and 2 corner kicks. This free kick touched up first by Washington. Marcinko plays one toward the corner. And it's cleared out of the danger zone for Franco Marshall by Christina Marinos. Quick throw taken by the Shorewoman here along the far side near the F&M bench. And now this one in the middle of the 18-yard box can be cleared out by the Diplomats defensively. Headed back up the field of play, but only as far as Brenda Clark, who will touch it up to Chatfield, and now Washington will flip the field once again. Collision there. Just two players coming together since the referee, no need to call the foul. This one sent up the field for Mascone, again cleared out of bounds. But last touch by Washington on the way out of play. Actually, they called a foul on Washington, so a free kick. Less than 20 minutes left until the break. No score. Free kick knocked down by Washington first. Now battle for it midfield. Headed on by Marcinko. Now taken by F&M. Pock back down the field. Ball near the edge of the 18. Now to the near sideline. Washington finds it for Beek. Will clear it. Up to Mascone in midfield. She'll play it back for Duvall. Her senior night. One of the co-holders for assists in a game. Duvall picked up 3 in a game last year. Has been held without a point for Washington so far this year, has Maya. Seven assists in her career. As this ball is ruled down for another Washington foul and a free kick for F&M. 19 minutes left in the opening half. Last of 4 games today in Chestertown. Washington still looking for their first win of the day. Volleyball lost in 4 sets. Field hockey lost 3-0. Men's soccer had a 1-0 lead in the second half before Haverford scored 2 goals in the last 25 minutes to win 2-1. Here comes a cross in for a header. Save made by Buscarino, and then she pounces on the rebound. On the header that came in from Horahan. So we stay scoreless. Now this ball to the near sideline will stay in play. Now Hunter gets the ball and then gets taken out on a slide tackle. Referee says a legal tackle and play on. Now O'Reilly bumps into the back of Horahan. Referee doesn't call the foul as she winds up with possession for the Diplomats. This one played out to the far sideline. Now towards the goal line, this ball will stay in play and then will go out of bounds and will become a Franklin and Marshall corner. Again, F&M will send 2 players over to the corner. Again, a short corner taken. And F&M taking too much time to get this ball played in as Washington's able to get the clearance. And now substitution for the Diplomats, their first on the night. As for Franklin Marshall, we'll see the first appearance of Amanda Tratner. She'll come in here to replace Katie Cassetta.
In for F&M number 4, Amanda Tratner.
So throw it here for Franklin Marshall from the far sideline. Pops free inside of the 18 and it's cleared by Clark. As she'll knock it out of bounds off the fence on the far side of Kibler Field at Roy Kirby Jr. Stadium. Throw it here for F&M. Strong throw. Knocked up in the air by a Washington defender. That's Clark who concedes the corner. So F&M's generating quarters. That's their 4th of the night. Haven't created anything yet off of a corner because they've been playing everything short so far. This time they'll only put 1 player over in the corner. Corner comes in. It's knocked toward the goal, but not sure if that was... I think that might have been a Washington defender, actually. They got a piece of it first. Either way, Buscarino scoops it up and she'll boot it back into play here. Now possession taken by Washington. As O'Connell knocks it down the field and forces Garashi, who's been not busy for a while, to come out and knock this one away. And now foul called on FNM at midfield. Free kick for the Shore Women. Be taken by Chatfield. The freshman from Lovettsville, Virginia. This ball pops free inside of the box, and it's still loose. A right-footed shot comes in and missing it wide for Washington there. Trying to see who it was that took that shot. I think it was Keely Verbeek, the last one to get her foot on her. She sent it just wide of the goal. So a couple of chances created there for Washington off of the free kick from out near midfield, but nothing doing off of it. 14.5 minutes left. This ball headed inside of the 18. Buscarino gets there. She can pick it up if she wants to, and now she will. This one out to midfield. Battled for and taken by the Diplomats. Now Washington wins back possession. Good tackle by Mascone. Mascone at the near side. Washington gets there first. O'Reilly gets the pass away and then takes a strong shoulder hit from the F&M defender. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by O'Reilly, they're going to say, for a goal kick for F&M. As O'Reilly got that ball away, then took a nice little shoulder tackle from the defender. The referee, who's called a couple of the ticky-tack things both ways tonight, lets that one go as it becomes a free kick for the Diplomats. Okay, we play on. Now Clark out to midfield for Maynard. And now Lauren goes out of bounds into the F&M bench, as does the soccer ball. It'll be a Washington throw. Clock continues to run down. 13:05 left until halftime. And this one just gets popped all the way down the field. Nobody in the general vicinity even close, as that's going to go into the back of the field hockey goal. Unfortunately, that doesn't count for anything in soccer, and we stay scoreless. Low line drive on the goal kick. Taken here by F&M. Popped up the center of the field. Cleared by Clark. Now this one's sent up the near side. Could be a chance here for the Diplomats. Cross comes in from near the goal line. Knocked down in front by one of the Washington defenders. Now a collision. O'Connell gets there for Washington. And the Shorewomen get it cleared back to midfield before it's sent back down. Blocked off. And now foul is called away from the ball on Washington. Free kick for F&M. And now behind the play, we've got a player down for F&M. Not sure if the referee sees it. Now she is back up to her feet. Referee calls for a stoppage of the clock with 11:55 to play in the half. Slow to get up for F&M was Izzy Hunter. Now is back up to her feet, walking around, appears to be okay. She's holding her right leg area. She'll stay on the field of play here. As F&M will have a free kick, which will be lined up and taken by Meg O'Callahan, the freshman. 5 goals for her in the season. O'Callahan whips a free kick towards the far side. Buscarino comes out and catches it, and then she takes a nice hit for her troubles. Eleven and a half minutes left in this opening half. No score. As this one knocked up the sideline. Touched first for Washington by Clark. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by Clark for an F&M throw. No score opening half. Clock continues to run. 3 shots for F&M, 2 shots for Washington so far. As this ball popped up in the air, Marcinko gets ahead to it for Washington, knocks it out to the far sideline. Out of bounds for another throw for the Diplomats. And that should be a foul on F&M, and it is. A little push in the back there called by the linesman on the far side. 10.5 minutes left until the break. No score. We kind of thought this would be a low-scoring offensive struggle for these two teams tonight, and so far that's held to form. 5 combined shots on the evening with no score so far. Now this one to the sideline, knocked out of bounds into the F&M bench. Throw for the Diplomats. Headed back up the field. Collision here, foul call on Washington, another F&M free kick. This one headed inside the box. Offside flag from the referee should be up. He doesn't put it up. Buscarino pounces on the loose ball anyway, as it was knocked back to her, I think, by a Washington defender. If Buscarino didn't get that one, I think the ref was going to put the flag up for offside, but as it is, Annalie has it. And she knocks it up the near sideline on the kick. O'Connell gets the head to it. Now Mascone plays it up with a head of steam. O'Reilly's in the area for Washington. Just a good job by F&M on the clearance from Horahan out of bounds. 9 minutes left until the break, no score. Throw in here. O'Reilly, the intended target. O'Reilly bumped off the ball and then bumps the defender down and gets called for the foul. That's an easy call for the referee. O'Reilly perhaps enacting a measure of revenge for getting herself knocked down in the corner earlier. Each team wants to make a substitution, it appears. This ball trickles out of bounds for an F&M throw. And each team has a sub. And instead of letting the subs in, the play continues. As this ball knocked up the field of play. For Washington College, looks like Katie King's going to come in. And for Franklin Marshall, it's going to be Maddie Feeney. First, we have some business down here in the near corner. F&M looking for the cross. Here comes the low-line drive cross. It's knocked out of bounds. Out of a Washington defender. That's Duvall for an F&M corner. Shorewoman not happy with the call. And now 2 more subs for F&M. As Sarah Marsan will also check in. Corner kick coming for the Diplomats on the near side. To the center of the box, a defender for Washington winds up on the turf. Nothing called yet. And now this one, that was more of a pass, not a shot. Either way, it's well wide out of play. Under 7 minutes left in a scoreless opening half. So Kirsten Heine's in for F&M along with Sarah Marsan and Maddie Feeney. And for Washington College, it's Katie King in place of Bess Mascone, who already herself came in this opening half earlier as a substitute. So Mascone came in as a sub around the 15-ish or so minute mark, and she subbed out here before the halftime break hits. As the play was blown dead here on a whistle on a foul on F&M, and then that ball gets blasted into the night anyway. That should be a talking to from the referee, and it is, telling the player no more who knocked that one out of play. Definitely a time-wasting measure as the clock stops at 6:21. As that one was sent all the way down the field by O'Callahan.
Subs each way for the Shore women, number 5, Katie King. For F&M, number 3, Maddie Feeney, number 5, Kirsten Heine, and number 13.
Brianna Parise knocks up the field for Washington.
Sarah Marsan.
Scooped up by the goalkeeper, Sarah Garashi, who knocks it high up into the air on the goal kick as we tick under 6 minutes left in the halftime. In the half, until halftime, we should say. Foul called on Washington here. A first half that, by and large, has lacked its offensive chances so far. Each team with just one shot on goal. And a combined shot total in this contest of 5. F&M has created 5 corner kicks. They're already above their season average in corners. But they haven't created anything offensively off of those corners. And a battle for the ball near the goal line here. Goes out of bounds and will become Washington's ball. Not sure if it's a goal kick or a free kick. It's awarded as a goal kick as it goes out of bounds off of F&M. As Duvall took a tumble to the turf on that one. Not sure if they were going to award the free kick. They don't. Under 5 minutes left. Last of 4 games today in Chestertown. Hasn't been a good day for Washington College so far. Women's soccer trying to turn that around. No score so far. Earlier today in the men's game, we saw no goals in the first half and then 3 goals in the second half. Haverford scoring 2 of those to post a 2-1 win. Marcinko takes the throw in here. This ball gets knocked around. And will go out of bounds for an F&M throw. Now possession taken by Washington. Sent up the field of play. O'Reilly in the center of the field racing. Can't tell who that is down the far side near the corner, but Washington gets a player over there near the corner. Looks like that's Maynard for the Shorewomen. Knocked out of bounds by F&M for a Washington throw. Under 4 minutes to play in the half. And F&M able to clear the Washington throw out of the danger area. Shorewomen send it back down, only for F&M to get there again as O'Callahan knocks it up the field. To the sideline out of bounds. Last touch by the Diplomats. It'll be a Washington throw. 3.5 minutes left. This one played back for Clark. She'll swing it out to the near side for Duvall. And with pressure closing in, she gets it up ahead to Paige O'Connell. This ball takes a deflection, comes to the near sideline, goes out of bounds. Last touched by Washington for a Franklin Marshall throw. It'll be thrown in here by Feeney. Feeney's throw headed on by O'Connell for Washington. Back to Clark, who clears it up to midfield. Maynard's there. Maynard taking on a couple of F&M defenders, and O'Callahan winds up with possession. Now Marcinko gets it back for Washington and is promptly called for a foul. Five combined shots, 15 combined fouls in this opening half so far. And for a women's soccer match, you generally don't see 15 combined fouls for an entire game, let alone an opening half. But sure enough, that's what we have here tonight. This game has not lacked physicality. It has lacked offensive production for both teams. Under 2 minutes left until the break. Maybe both coaches can give a rousing speech at halftime and maybe get some more offensive-minded plays out of these two squads. Out of bounds, last touch by Washington. This ball knocked out of bounds along the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for Buscarino. Ninth start of the season for Annalee. 81.1% save percentage. 2 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws. 3 shutouts.
1 minute remaining in the first half.
As we tick under a minute left. Another foul called on Washington. Their 10th in this opening half. 16 fouls in total. O'Callahan sends the free kick down the field, goes off the back of the head of Duvall, and then is just cleared to the near side out of bounds. It becomes F&M's 6th corner of the opening half with 30 seconds to play. To the right-hand side of Buscarino. F&M's created more corners in this half than these two teams have created shots combined at this point. This corner comes in. Takes a touch out of bounds for a goal kick for Buscarino.
9,
Less than 10 seconds to play.
7,
Buscarino
6,
doesn't have to take the
4,
goal kick if she doesn't want to.
2,
In fact, she
1.
won't. And that'll do it for an opening half of play.
Halftime score, 0.
5 combined shots in that first half. 16 combined fouls. 6 corners for F&M, none for Washington. And not a whole lot really to talk about. Not a whole lot of highlights to watch either from that opening half of play, as we're scoreless between Franklin Marshall and Washington College at the halftime break. We'll take a break, come back in about 15 minutes with the start of the second half on Goose Nation TV and the Centennial Conference Digital Network. And welcome back live to Chestertown, Maryland. Second half underway between Franklin and Marshall and Washington College. Score at the halftime break, same as it was when this game started. Washington 0, Franklin and Marshall 0. In a game that saw a combined 5 shots in that opening half. Franklin and Marshall generated 6 corner kicks but didn't score or really produce any opportunities to score off of any of those corners. Meanwhile, there was also a combined 16 fouls in that opening half of play. As a battle for possession here near midfield, won by the Diplomats. They'll come back the other way with it. At midfield, this ball takes a deflection. It will stay in bounds in front of the Washington bench. Diplomats now going from left to right in this second half of play as this ball goes out of bounds into the F&M bench. Last touch by Washington for a Diplomats throw. We mentioned that opening half, a combined 5 shots. Only 2 shots on goal, 1 for each team. Despite the fact that F&M took 6 corners, they couldn't generate anything off of those corners. And a change for Washington. In goal, Annalie Buscarino, who played that opening half and made a save for Washington, replaced at the halftime break tonight by Noah Smith. So Smith is the new goalkeeper for Washington as we get things underway here in half number 2. It's an interesting move there by Coach Riley. Those two had been splitting time this season, but interesting to see the switch made here at the halftime break of a conference game that's still scoreless. Yeah, Smith knocks this one in the air, up the field, on the goal kick. Referee blows the play dead for a foul on Franklin and Marshall. So free kick for Washington here to be taken by Chatfield. 2 minutes into the second half, no score. Chatfield's free kick here. Strong free kick into the center of the box, but cleared by F&M, at least out of the 18-yard area. Now crossed back in, takes a touch, still loose in front. I think Marcinko wanted to take a shot, but it was cleared off her foot before she could get a shot away there. As we get a foul called on Washington as that ball was leaving the area of the penalty area. So free kick for F&M. F&M did not switch their goalkeeper. It's still Sarah Garashi for the Diplomats. Garashi on the free kick here following the foul. Touched up first at midfield by Washington. Now Klink with a header. She's back up there for Washington to start half number 2. Was subbed for in the first half. One of the seniors getting the start on senior night. Now here's Parise with a nice pass to the near side. It takes a touch off a defender, and a shot coming here from Katie King is saved by Garashi. Wasn't much of a shot from King, but that ball took a deflection off the F&M defender, and the way this game's gone, King figured why not put a shot on goal and see what happens, and that's what she did there, and it was saved by Garashi. 6th shot of the night combined between these two teams, each team with 3. Not exactly a very pretty game offensively in that opening half between these two. We'll see what happens here in the second half. We'll see what kind of speeches and adjustments were made on senior night for Washington College. 7 seniors on this year's team. A lot of the seniors from last year's team, including the Sabatino twins, Lindsey Russell, and others, are in attendance tonight. So this ball out of bounds into the F&M bench for a Washington throw. Up the sideline it goes. Touched up first defensively by Franklin Marshall. And again, the referee blows the play dead for a foul. As we mentioned at one point in the first half, you don't see a lot of fouls called generally in women's soccer. Tonight, however, that has not been the case. 19 combined fouls, 12 against Washington College, 7 against the Diplomats. Obviously, you could have figured that out if you subtracted the 12 from the 19 to get the 7, but we did the math for you because there's not much else going on at the moment. A throw for Washington here in front of the F&M bench. 5 minutes going by in this second half, and now it's not a throw, it's a free kick apparently for a foul. Now the referee has stopped the clock at 39:56. He stopped the clock. He walked over to the scorer's table and then held both hands out in the air. I have no idea what that was all about. Anyway, we're back underway. As F&M wins back possession off the Washington free kick. This ball played up the near side. Good job there by Keely Verbeek for Washington to knock down the pass. Now Mascone will drop it back. And Verbeek clears it up the near sideline, only as far as the F&M defender. And this ball knocked up ahead, taken by Chatfield, played to Mascone. Mascone out to the far side. A couple players almost collide there, but good job by Washington defensively to get the ball back. It's played up the far sideline in the general direction of Klink, and no nonsense by F&M. They play it back to the keeper, who knocks it out to the far sideline. A low line drive of a pass or a cross here is dealt with by the F&M defense and cleared out to the sideline and away from the goal area. Now a header here from Chatfield. Kept them played by F&M in front of the Washington bench. Clark will pop it up in the air for the Shorewomen here. Now King collides. F&M winds up with possession. This ball gets played down, and it'll be scooped by Smith, the keeper, before the striker for F&M could get there. As for the Diplomats, that was Nicolette Runko. This one knocked up the near side. King trying to get there. First forward the Shorewoman, not able to do so. She's cut off by a defender. Near the corner, possession still battled for here, and a foul is called now on King. A little bit too aggressive with the jersey pull there, I guess. Free kick for F&M. Then this ball at the near side, the free kick could be a chance for the Diplomats. A shot coming, and that's going to miss. Well, actually, I'm not sure if that was more of a shot or a pass, but F&M turned that into an opportunity there quickly. Now a cross comes in. There is the shot for a header, and they score. F&M takes a 1-0 lead, 37 minutes and 23 seconds to play. As that was talk about creating something out of nothing in that scenario. Let's take a look at it here. Off of the free kick that came all the way from the defensive end. Here comes the cross, and it's headed there into the back of the net for the score on the head of Nicolette Runko, the senior, goal number 7 on the season to lead Franklin Marshall in that category. And 37 minutes, 23 seconds to play. F&M has the first goal of the night and a 1-0 lead. Only the 4th shot of the night for the Diplomats, only the 7th combined shot on the evening, and F&M's on the board. So a throw in for Washington here.
Franklin and Marshall goal by number 28, Nicolette Runko, assisted by number 15, Emily Adami.
As the assist picked up by Emily Adami for F&M, her first career assist on the cross that came in that Runko knocked home. So the 1-0 lead now for Franklin and Marshall. Now another chance for F&M here as this one's sent on goal, and Smith makes the stop on an effort off the left foot of Cassetta.
And for Washington, number 27, Ellie Morale.
Also for the Shorewomen, Ellie Morales in it for the first time, came after that goal. So just the 4th shot of the night for F&M, only their 2nd shot on goal. They get on the board, and that came off of what looked like it was going to be a harmless free kick from the defensive end that traveled all the way up the field. The first shot just went wide, and then a good effort made by Adami to keep that ball in bounds before it went out of bounds on the goal line, and then her cross came in. Looked pretty harmless, but Nicolette Runko was left unchecked in the middle of the 18-yard box. Her header came on goal when past Noah Smith, and that puts F&M on top 1-0. And now the Diplomats with another cross coming in here. This time it's Runko who plays the cross. It's knocked out of bounds, but a foul is called first, so it's a free kick for the Diplomats. And this is going to be basically a very short corner attempt for F&M, as it's going to be right along that goal line on to our right-hand side. So 1-0 lead for the Diplomats, and now looking for more. It'll be played in here by O'Callahan on the free kick. Free kick comes to the near post. Smith bobbles it in front, and it's knocked home for the score.
Yeah, I got 34 with the assist.
2-0 lead now for F&M. They've got 3-0 on the scoreboard, but it's actually 2-0 the lead for the Diplomats. As we'll take a look at it here. As here comes the free kick in, and Smith had it and then just flat out drops it, and then it's knocked home on the rebound for the score.
Diplomats goal by number 28, Nicolette Runko, assisted by number 34, Meg.
It's the second goal for Runko in as many minutes, with O'Callahan picking up the assist. So a 2-0 lead for Franklin and Marshall. Both those goals coming from Nicolette Runko over the last 2 minutes. And all of a sudden, this game has dramatically flipped on its head. That one was just a free kick played in from O'Callahan that Smith had in her hands and then just dropped it. As a result, Runko was on the goal line to knock home the loose ball. Now we get a stoppage of play here and a foul. Actually, they didn't call the foul. There was a Washington player down on the turf that went out of bounds. They called it an F&M throw, even though Chatfield was laying face down on the turf. So here's Marcinko. And this ball sent back down again for the keeper, Garashi, who will just knock it further up the field of play. And now another chance here for F&M, but not to be, as we had a whistle blowing the play dead back up the field. A kick for Washington coming up. Shore will be looking to make 3 substitutions at the next opportunity to do so. That was an offside call on the referee on the near side. And now this ball to the near side gets popped up in the air to go out of play. It'll be a Washington throw and 3 substitutions for the Shorewomen here with just over 32 minutes to play. So in a game where Washington hasn't created anything offensively, now all of a sudden they've got to create 2 goals just to get this game tied, as F&M has taken advantage of a couple of timely bounces down to our right-hand side of the field here earlier in the second half to put themselves ahead by 2 and take a game in the first half that had only a combined 5 shots. And now, next thing you know, 2 quick goals on the board, and Washington is in a world of trouble. Elena Hilario is into the game for the Shorewomen for the first time, while Ruprak and Duvall are back in.
Thank you, ma'am.
As F&M's got it along the near sideline here with a 2-0 lead. This ball pops free to Duvall. Now Duvall's pass is cut off. Now Callahan with it. Plays one out to the far sideline. And chance here in the cross for F&M. He'll go out of bounds along the goal line. That'll be a goal kick for Noah Smith and a substitution coming up.
Subs both ways for F&M number 4, Amanda Tretner, and for Washington number 10, Kelsey Hall.
As for Franklin and Marshall, Tretner is back in, and for Washington College, it's the first appearance of the night of the sophomore midfielder, Kelsey Hall. Just over 15 minutes into the second half, Washington now faced with what kind of feels like a monumental task at this point in a game in which they've only created 3 total shots. They now find themselves down by 2 goals. Meanwhile, Franklin and Marshall had 3 shots in the entire first half. They've already taken 4 here in the opening 15 minutes of half number 2, so their halftime adjustments have worked in a positive area. As this one crossed into the box, gets knocked out of bounds by Washington. That'll be a Franklin and Marshall goal kick. The first one coming off of a free kick from the defensive half that resulted in a wide shot, and then the rebound was tracked down. A cross came in, and Runko knocked it home for the first goal. And then on the second goal, O'Callahan plays in a cross that on a free kick that was caught but then dropped by Noah Smith, the goalkeeper, who was subbed in at halftime in place of Annalie Buscarino. And then Runko was right there to smash home the rebound for her second in as many minutes. So whatever adjustments F&M made at the halftime break worked, and now they're on the move again here as Smith will come out and collect this loose ball inside of her own penalty area. .28.5 minutes to play, and the lead for F&M is 2. This ball sent toward the corner. And it stays in bounds and now is kept back in play. Washington looking for a cross from Hilario near the corner. It'll go out of bounds. Last touched by... Or did the referee put the flag up for offside? I think, yes, he did. He put the flag up and then made the over and back motion with his hand. So that's an offside call on Washington from over near the corner. At least it should be, as the lines person. It is. Offside call on Washington. Now F&M gets it, and they'll just knock it out to the near sideline. 27.5 minutes to play. Diplomats in control now, ahead by 2. And now looking for more. As this one goes out of bounds. Last touched by Ruprak for Washington. 3 more substitutions waiting for the Shorewomen here. And now to the near sideline, out of bounds for a Washington throw. And here come the 3 subs. Yeah, Sarah Douglas is in for the first time tonight. Parker Morse is back in as well. And we're going to get the first appearance of the evening from the freshman Jillian Slavic. So 3 subs for Washington coming here with just under 27 minutes to play. Coach Riley looking for something to spark this team with them down now by 2.
Trio of subs for the Shorewomen, number 15, Sarah Douglas, number 14, Parker Morris, number 20.
This ball knocked back up to midfield. Duvall there to track it down for Washington defensively. She'll knock one out to the far side. And now sent further up the field. Moore's trying to get there for Washington. And now FNM was just trying to clear that one out of bounds. Instead, it winds up going out of play off of one of these shorewomen forwards, which leads to Franklin Marshall having a throw. Now this ball out of bounds. Last touch by FNM. All Diplomats in this second half, they've scored both the goals and have what feels like a very commanding advantage here, considering that Washington's only taken 4 shots on the night and just 1 here in half number 2. As we get a stoppage of play for another foul. So free kick here taken from FNM. This ball gets knocked over near the corner. Cross attempt here is blocked and taken back by Washington. Shorewomen will try to flip the field here. 25 minutes to play. As Alario's pass up the field is taken back by FNM. Knocked down by Chatfield for the Shorewomen. She'll knock it out to the sideline here. This ball sent down. Cut off by an FNM defender. And clear, but only as far as Hilario, who sends one towards the top of the 18. Ball takes a deflection, and FNM now does get it cleared. Back out to midfield, and now the Diplomats might have a chance to run. Nice little move here made by Tratner. As she gets to the sideline, Tratner plays one up the field. Too far for everybody. It'll be scooped up by Smith. Now Smith has this kick bounce off the turf and taken back immediately by the Diplomats. Now Hall. Now Slavic for Washington's got it. And out to the near sideline as this ball pops free and is controlled for Franklin Marshall by Anderson. That's Emily Cleary with it for FNM, racing towards the corner. Clark plays it back to Smith. Smith facing pressure from Runko, who's already scored twice tonight. As this one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Washington. FNM with a throw and a substitution for the Diplomats here.
Diplomat sub number 13, Sarah Marsan,
As back in for the Diplomats is Sarah Marsan to replace Emily Adami, who picked up an assist on the first goal on a cross from the far side that was smashed home by Runko. Now Hilario. Slavic. Looking for Hall along the sideline. He'll take a touch out of bounds off of Hall. Good job by FNM to knock it out of bounds off of her. And it'll be a throw for the Diplomats as we're now halfway through the second half. And all FNM so far, they lead by 2. They haven't created a ton of chances in this half, had the Diplomats. They've just taken the ones that they have created. Just 4 shots in the second half for the Diplomats. But 2 of them have resulted in goals. This ball belongs to the Diplomats. Out in front of the Washington bench on the far side. Now this one popped towards the corner. Douglas racing to get there. She's beaten to it by an FNM defender, and it's out of bounds into the Washington bench for a Shorewomen throw with less than 22 minutes to play. FNM wants to make a sub at the next opportunity. That'll be Anna Gorovich who will check in. It'll be her first appearance on the night when she does come in. Now this ball gets knocked around for a while. Ball pops free to the Diplomats. And that's all they have to do at this point. Just clear it up the field and keep it out of their own defensive end here. Not allow Washington to create anything. Now Duvall knocks this one up the field. Played down by an FNM defender. Washington's got it. And this one from distance from Morris has to be punched out and then kept out from along the goal line by the goalkeeper, Garashi. As Morris took that one from distance and forced Garashi into making a save. Let's take a look at it here. Really, this might be one of the better chances Washington's created tonight. Here's Morris just with a long shot, and you can see it pop up, and goalie had to punch it up in the air and then come down and make the catch on it. Before. And now we get a foul call on Washington here. F&M gets a free kick. .20 minutes left. F&M with possession near the top of the 18. This ball takes a deflection. Pops free now on the near side of the box. F&M looking for something more offensively. There's Tratner near the goal line looking for a cross. Now she'll just take it out near the corner. Now the cross does come in. Dealt with by a Washington defender. Now Morris with a touch. Hilario knocks this one out of bounds. No, it doesn't go out of bounds. Good work done there defensively for F&M by Cleary to keep it in play near the corner. And now a slide tackle here does take the ball out of bounds. Actually, they called a foul for the slide tackle against Tratner for F&M. So free kick for Washington. 19 minutes to play. 19 minutes, 10 seconds to play. Lots of subs for Washington about to come in here. Looks like 3, maybe 4 substitute, maybe 5 substitutions. Now it's going to be 4. And they keep sending players over to the bench to be checked in. As this ball goes out of bounds, it'll be a Washington throw in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 substitutions for Washington College here with 18.5 minutes to play. And 2 subs for Franco and Marshall as well. So Washington switches up 6 out of the 10 field players here. Clock continues to run through all this with 18 minutes and 10 seconds left. As this one goes out of bounds for a goal kick. So the free kick here knocked down by Washington. 17:35 to play. Yeah, so we're going to check on the substitutions. Meg O'Callahan is back in for F&M, as is Anna Gorovich for the first time tonight. And for Washington College, Katie King is in for Sarah Douglas, Lauren Maynard for Elena Hilario, Aaron O'Reilly for Parker Morris, Keely Verbeek for Brianna Ruprak, Brianna Parise for Jillian Slavic, Kayla Marcinko for Kelsey Hall, and a partridge in a pear tree at this point on Kibler Field at Roy Kirby Jr. Stadium. As the cross comes in here from along the far sideline, it's caught by the goalkeeper, Garashi. As we tick under 17 minutes left, F&M ahead 2-0. This ball trickles down the field towards the goal line. And it will go out of bounds and become a goal kick for Noah Smith and a substitution for Franco Marshall. As heading to the bench will be Cleary.
In for Franklin and Marshall, number 11.
Checking in for the first time comes Delaney Bessel. So both teams going deep into the bench here. F&M ahead by 2. This ball pops up to the near sideline. Verbeek will cross it in for Washington. Short ball, though, dealt with by F&M defensively. Now, a couple of players collide as this one trickles free to the near sideline. Kept in bounds by Washington. And not kept in bounds any longer by Washington. It'll trickle out of bounds and become a goal kick. I mentioned the first of 3 straight matches at home for Washington. After tonight, they get the next week off, and then they'll play next Sunday, and that game's not going to be any easier. They'll take on Stockton in a non-conference matchup. Stockton this year, 12 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. The only saving grace, perhaps, is that Stockton will play a conference game the previous day on Saturday and then turn right around and play Washington the following day on a Sunday. So if there is any sort of saving grace for Washington playing against a team with 12 wins in 14 games, it's that it'll be on the second of a back-to-back and also the third in 5 days for Stockton. As they'll be playing a game on this upcoming Wednesday, a game that was rescheduled from the previous Wednesday. So 3 games in 5 days. Those 2 teams played a 2-2 draw last year on the road. Of course, then again, that Washington squad last year, a heck of a lot different than this year's. This ball settles along the goal line. Now gets sent out of bounds to the far side for another Washington throw. 14.5 minutes to play. F&M ahead by 2. Meanwhile, for the Diplomats, they'll host Bryn Mawr next Saturday at 3 o'clock. They'll get a week off as well. And F&M sitting in decent position if they can hold on to this result. They'll be 4-4 in conference. As this one, I think that shot was going wide, but Garashi gets a grab on it anyways. So they can get the 4 conference wins that they hold on here, and then they'll play Bryn Mawr next Saturday with a chance to get the 5. As this one in the box is scooped up by the keeper again. Now this one at midfield knocked up ahead by Marcinko. As she gets it to O'Reilly. And now a nice clearance here made by F&M. Marcinko trying to get it back in midfield. She winds up on the turf. Washington does get possession. Now this one just knocked up the field of play by Chatfield. Takes a deflection off of King, and it will go out of bounds and become a Franklin and Marshall throw. As F&M wants to make a substitution. They have the players standing at the table waiting to come in. And now the substitution will be made with just under 13 minutes left.
Number 3, Maddie Feeney.
As Maddie Feeney rechecks. Checks back in. She doesn't recheck, she checks in. Oy. As this ball again goes out of bounds, last touch by Washington. Another throw for F&M, another chance to kill a couple of seconds off the clock. 12.5 minutes left. Washington's taken 6 shots tonight. F&M has only taken 7. It hasn't exactly been a thrilling game offensively, but F&M got 2 goals in less than 2 minutes from Nicolette Runko earlier in this half to take a 2-0 advantage. Now Smith, the keeper, has Runko closing in, and Runko got her toe on it and winds up deflecting it just wide as a result. As Smith was just trying to make a pass, Runko basically stuck her foot out and got in the way of it, and darn near got a hat trick as a result. You'll see the back pass here to Smith. And then Smith just going to make the pass. Runko right there deflects it. And that ball almost went in. Nonetheless, the score stays at 2. But almost a chance to make it 3 off of a simple deflection. Now here's Brenda Clark coming up from the defensive end. Clark will knock one out to the far sideline and then will actually stay up in the offense here for Coach Riley. This one out towards the corner. Touched out of bounds by F&M for a Washington throw. Now this ball sent out of bounds. Again, last touch by Washington, or by F&M. For another Washington throw as we tick under 11 minutes left on a busy Saturday from Kibler Field at Roy Kirby Jr. Stadium. Between here and the Canton Athletic Center, 4 home broadcasts today. Washington 0-3 on the day so far, and unfortunately it looks like they're trending towards 0-4. This one touched into the 18 and scooped up by Garashi. As F&M's going to send a bunch of substitutes to the scorers table here. It looks like about 4 or 5 for the Diplomats here. Now this ball sent down for Chatfield, who knocks it out of bounds. And here comes a throw for F&M. And here comes 4 subs. So F&M switching up personnel as we tick under 10 minutes left from Chestertown, and the Diplomats with a 2-0 lead. This ball gets knocked inside of the 18-yard box. It'll be scooped up by Smith.
And for F&M, number 22, Sam Springer. Number 17, Katie Cassetta. Number 24, Emily Cleary. And number 15, Emily Adami.
Sam Springer in for F&M for the first time tonight. Other than that, Cleary's back in, as is Cassetta and Adami. As we get a foul called on F&M here. Free kick upcoming for Washington College, as they'll try and create something and try and get back in this game. Referee calls for a stoppage of the clock with 9:09 to play. Not sure why the referees elected to stop the clock, unless he wanted to keep F&M from wasting time defensively, I guess. Otherwise, the clock should still be moving, but nonetheless, Chatfield takes the free kick here and pops it right into the hands of Garashi, who will make the save. Actually, that ball was going wide, but Garashi made the catch on it anyways. Either way, it doesn't count as a goal. Now Maynard with a touch to Marcinko. Marcinko plays one out to the sideline intended for King. King does keep it in play. Now King muscled off the ball. Good work done here defensively for F&M by Feeney. She knocks it out of bounds. Actually, last touch by Washington, they're going to say. And again, the referee stops the clock here. It looks like we're going to have a card produced, perhaps. Nope, just a stern talking to, it appears, from the referee to Katie King. No, the referee signaled for the clock to stop, but the clock keeps running. I don't really think the referee noticed it, and well, we're under 8 minutes to play, and this ball's out of bounds. It'll be a Washington throw, and a substitution is Meghan Klink. We'll check back in and replace somebody. Who replaces Ellie Morale. There you go. Thank you, Jason Bryden. Good call from the front row of the press box here tonight.
Back on the field for the Shore Women, number 21, Meghan Klink.
Now this ball set in the general direction of the goal. That was a cross. Garashi picks it up. Time is the friend of Franklin Marshall here with a 2-goal advantage. And for F&M, they'll snap a 2-game losing streak to Washington if this result holds. They'll move to 16-3-3 all-time against Washington College in this series. And we'll pick up that 8th win of the season. As this ball sent inside the box. Cleared by Washington, but only as far as a midfielder for F&M, which will take a shot here and miss it wide. That one came off the left foot of Cassetta, number 17. So goal kick for Noah Smith. Now O'Callahan trying to take on about 3 different Washington defenders. The Shore women win the numbers battle and get possession away. This ball sent up the near sideline. Klink racing to try and get there for Washington. Instead, it's sent back to the goalkeeper by Marinos. And now on the near sideline, possession taken back by Washington. Here's Marcinko. Drops it for Chatfield. Or is that Duvall? Actually, that was Duvall, not Chatfield. Doesn't matter. It's cleared out to the near sideline, out of bounds anyways. We're almost out of bounds. Now it is out of bounds. It'll be a Washington throw with about 5.5 minutes to play. Now this ball goes screaming out of bounds. Last touch by F&M again. So throw here. This ball gets deflected around. F&M wants to make a substitution, it appears. If a team's winning in the last 5 minutes and they go to make a sub, the clock stops. But I guess F&M doesn't seem to mind that too much with a 2-goal advantage. As it looks like it'll be Teresa Meyer who will make her first appearance of the night whenever the substitution happens. As we tick under 5 minutes to go from Chestertown, F&M in control, ahead by 2. And looking for more, the Diplomats might have a chance here in transition. Near the top of the 18. Sliding tackle goes for naught, but the touch was too far as it goes out of bounds for a Washington goal kick. And substitution for F&M. The clock does stop with 4:35 to go, and a substitution for Washington as well as King will exit and be replaced up top by a player wearing white.
Subs each way for F&M, number 27, Teresa Meyer, and for the Shore women, number 12, Tatyana Boggman.
It's Tatyana Boggman, the senior, from nearby Wharton. This clearing pass is stolen. Now Chatfield just knocks it into the Diplomat bench. Goes off the fence behind the field of play to keep some poor student worker from having to go down into the ravine and retrieve a loose soccer ball. Nobody wants to do that in a cold night. Or a warm night, for that matter. Now Washington creates a turnover. Transition opportunity here. This one played up ahead for Klink, but it's going to be too far as it's sent to the far sideline. Oh, collision here. Foul on F&M. And a player down for Washington following the collision. The clock stops with 3:39 to go. Trying to see who that is, but whoever it was took a shot there on the far side on that collision. Looks like that was Maya Duvall for Washington. She's back up to her feet here and appears to be okay. 55 degrees currently right now at Kibler Field at Roy Kirby Jr. Stadium. Chilly, but not as chilly as last night when the temperatures got down to the upper 30s. As Washington's got a free kick with 3:39 to play. Free kick comes in here. And still loose, and now the goalie does come out and dives on it on the far side near the edge of the 18. Now this one booted up high into the sky. Takes a bounce across the midfield stripe here on the turf. And now sent back up the field for control by the Diplomats on the stripe as we tick down to 3 minutes to play. All Franklin and Marshall in the second half. They lead 2-0. Both the goals coming from Nicolette Runko. The first at 52:37, the second at 54:54. 2 minutes and 17 seconds separating her 2 goals that have given F&M a commanding cushion tonight on Kibler Field. Now another giveaway, this time by Verbeek. F&M plays this one up the field. Smith comes out and knocks it away. Takes it off the foot, in fact, of Runko before she had a chance to complete that hat trick again. Now this one sent up the sideline. F&M gets to it. Clears it, but only as far as midfield where Verbeek gets it for Washington. Now Klink gets her head to it here. And the Diplomats will get it cleared. Here's Chatfield. Passes too far. Now Rachel cuts off this pass and just blasts one down the field. It'll take a hop and then be scooped by the keeper, Garashi. And so we are under 2 minutes left from Chestertown. So F&M's going to go to 8-5-1 on the season, 4-4 in conference play. Their third straight win, all of them in conference. Winningest campaign for Franklin and Marshall since the team won 8 games back in 2011. That's what this win tonight will clinch for the Diplomats, as this ball is out of bounds to Washington. Meanwhile, for the Shore Women, they're going to drop to 4-7-3 on the season, 1-5-2 in conference play, and now just 1-7-3 on the season since starting the year 3-0. The offense for Washington this year just hasn't been there. There's a cross coming in here for F&M. Is caught by Smith. And Smith will hold on to it. The team will push back up the field with 1 minute left here in regulation. And a game which, really, we've been mentioning all night, hasn't had a ton of offensive chances. 10 shots for the Diplomats. 7 shots for Washington College. As this one comes to the edge of the 18-yard box before it's cleared by the Diplomats. Now just sent back up the field by Duvall. And grabbed by Garashi. Not sure she intended for that to be a shot or a pass. Either way, it wasn't going to be a goal anyways. As we're down to 25 seconds left. So a tough night offensively tonight for Washington College. Just 7 shots created, 3 in the first half, 4 in the second half. F&M scores 2 goals in a span of 2 minutes and 17 seconds, both of them coming from Nicolette Runko. As F&M will snap a 2-game losing skid to Washington College and take a 16-3-3 advantage in the series as the clock runs down to 0, and that will bring this one to an end. Tough night for Washington College. They fall tonight to the Diplomats' final score. Franklin and Marshall 2, and Washington College nothing. As we'll award tonight's Goose Nation TV Shore Women Player of the Game honor to Parker Morris, the senior on her senior night, created the best chance of the night for Washington to score. It came on this effort from Morris. This shot floated in high, forced the goalie to punch it up and then make the catch on it before it could go into the back of the goal. And for that effort for Washington, creating the best scoring chance of the night, Morris is the Goose Nation TV Shore Women Player of the Game tonight for the first time in her Washington career. As F&M wins tonight's game 2-0. Our next broadcast comes your way this coming Wednesday, volleyball against Swarthmore at 7 p.m. Our next women's soccer match comes your way this coming Sunday, not tomorrow, but the following Sunday. A 1 o'clock game against Stockton, non-conference action next Sunday afternoons. We thank you for joining us tonight from Kibler Field. And we say so long, where tonight F&M gets 2 goals in the second half in a span of 2 minutes and 17 seconds from Nicolette Runko and win tonight's contest by the final score of 2-0. As we thank you for joining us, we'll see you back here on Wednesday. Volleyball against Swarthmore, 7 p.m. on Goose Nation TV and the Centennial Conference Digital Network.